बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलामुअलैकुम मोअज़्ज़ज़ नाज़रीन करामी UMT के साथ मुझे कहते हैं मोहम्मद अरहम नहीं। नाज़रीन करामी, टेक्निकल एजुकेशन एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्टर है पाकिस्तान का, जिसमें हम दर हकीकत ज़िंदगी के डिफरेंट पहलुओं के ऊपर गौर व फिक्र करते हैं, डिफरेंट चीज़ों को सीखते हैं और बहुत ज़्यादा अहमियत की हामिल है ये टेक्निकल एजुकेशन, हुनर जो इंसानी हाथ के अंदर पाया जाता है। तो आज इसी टॉपिक के ऊपर बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ अहमद खवार शहजाद साहब मौजूद हैं, जो कि चीफ ऑपरेटिंग ऑफिसर हैं टेवटा के। उनसे बातचीत करेंगे टेक्निकल एजुकेशन के मुतालिक और जानेंगे कि ये पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है और टेवटा ने अब तक पाकिस्तान में कितनी तरक्की कर ली है। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। कैसे हैं सर, आप खैरियत?
सर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने वक्त निकाला अपने बिजी स्केड्यूल से और हमें वक्त दिया।
आई एम आल्सो थैंकफुल टू द कम्युनिकेशन एंड मीडिया सेल ऑफ UMT लाहौर फॉर दिस वेरी कॉन्फरिंग ऑस्पिशियस टाइम फॉर दिस इंटरव्यू।
थैंक यू सो मच। अच्छा सर, बाकायदा टॉपिक के ऊपर आने से पहले आई जस्ट वांट टू नो समथिंग अबाउट द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ टेवटा। कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ, क्या कर रहा है?
TEVTA is a special institution comprising of more than 425 institutions in Punjab, and it has 3 regions: North, Central and South, and it is dealing with the male and female institutions in the Punjab, and almost 28% female institutions, and rest of the 72% are the male institutions in the Punjab. And TEVTA has the capacity to skillfully develop more than 200,000 students every year. And it has the capacity to deal with the 8 sectors of economy at the moment, and it's going to have the capacity to deal with all the sectors of economy in the coming future.
बेहतरीन। सर, व्हाट अबाउट द इनोवेशन? अब तक टेवटा ने इनोवेटिव काम क्या किए, लोगों के लिए अब तक क्या कुछ नया लेकर आया आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स?
TEVTA was an institution which was basically comprised of a number of government sectors institutions, having partners of almost from 8 different institutions of the Punjab. But TEVTA was established in 1999 with the composition of all these institutions, and after establishment TEVTA has developed almost 100,000 students every year in the Punjab, and the industry was established in the institutions since 60s, 70s and 80s. So TEVTA has to cover a long journey with reference to industry academia linkage, with reference to the apprenticeship training programs, with reference to job fairs, to cope with the modern placement of the students, and TEVTA has to develop the students with reference to the modern technology like artificial intelligence, robotics, and so, especially with reference to e-commerce programs to provide the jobs in the private sector as well, so that people may run their own businesses. So it was a switching from basically TEVTA has to work on this notion that we have to switch the nation from white collar to blue collar.
Nice.
So that they might be able to develop their own businesses, and they might be able to establish their own firms and small businesses and entrepreneurships, so that the jobs in the public sector are going to squeeze day by day. And you know that recently the government of the Punjab has abolished a number of seats in the Punjab. So one concept is crystal clear, that we have to develop ourselves, develop our nation to stand on their own feet, and we have to teach them how to catch the fish. That's why TEVTA is not only enabling them to develop their own skills, but to develop their own businesses as well. For this purpose, incubation centers are going to establish, and 2 major developments in the past. There are number of developments, but major developments are that we are going to establish 17 center of excellences in the whole of the Punjab. These center of excellences would be state-of-the-art institutions, and it would comprise of the most modern machinery, most modern equipment, and the most modern curricula to cope with the most modern and innovative environment of the world. Number 1, TEVTA is going to establish 2 electrovoltaic EV hubs in the Punjab, one in Texla, one in Lahore, to cope with the solar energy issues and the such like problems. And TEVTA is also working on the IT skills of the students, In addition to this, e-commerce programs are going to run. And recently, you know that with the under the auspices of Sir Ehsan Bhutta Sahab, he is basically the secretary of the Industries Department. We have just launched two programs. One is the skill program for 3 months for the students. It was 11 million rupees program, free of cost for the students, just to equip them in 16 different trades of the economy. And we also developed a boot camp of 2 months, and this boot camp was with the expenses from the students. And you would be astonished and you would be amazed that 25 million rupees the students have paid for this program. It means that students have the aspiration to learn more and more regarding the technical skills. Above all, during my posting, we have worked on the Technical Research Journal. TEVTA was established in 1999, but there was no research journal which was introduced in TEVTA. TEVTA has more than 20 PhD doctors and 164 MPhil scholars in the Punjab. So there was a dire need to work on this program. It was a dry area, grey area of TEVTA, where Almighty blessed me to work on it, and I strived, and we were successful to launch the first technical journal of TEVTA, which comprised of the editorial board having members from all across the world. We have taken members, PhD doctors and scholars from Saudi Arabia, from Korea, from China, from Finland, from UK. So all these doctors have been given place in the editorial board. All three technical universities of the Punjab, Punjab Tianjin University, Mir Chakri Azam Rind University, Technical University, and Rasool Technical University, these VCs have also been given place in the advisory board, so that this editorial journal should develop, because Technical Research Journal would pave the way and would give a direction to the whole of Pakistan, that in which way, in which direction we have to move forward with reference to the technical advancement and development. If the research says that we have to move, next generation is for artificial intelligence, so we will have to move forward with reference to the artificial intelligence programs. If this says that we have to move in the robotics, so we will have to move forward with reference to robotics and develop all the programs with reference to those recommendations and conclusions of the research journals. Likewise, in the whole of the world, this technical journal would also pave the way for the directions of the academia, faculty members, policy makers, and the industrialists as well, that which sort of industry is required in Pakistan nowadays, and how can we mitigate the gap between the industry and academia. There are two gaps. One gap is between the industry and the local gap, local industry and the local gap. The second one is the industry and the international industrial gap. So for these two gaps, we are going to send our teachers to China for having trainings there, so that they might be able to understand the industrial sector of China, at what level it's going on, and which sort of developments CPEC, 9 special economic zones which are going to establish in Pakistan. So which sort of technical skill is required to cope with the gap of those CPEC 9 special economic zones in Pakistan. Not only this, TEVTA has a lot of capacity to groom number of projects. It would be very much astonishing that we developed the first electrical bike in the Punjab as well, and it was launched on 14th of August 2023.
Sir, I just wanted to ask that, I think that's my opinion, that people who have technical knowledge are not regarded as much as like they're treated well in the other countries, right? Maybe that is a particular reason that nowadays people are leaving Pakistan for better opportunities, what you say?
There are two factors. A very pertinent, very relevant and very significant question which you have raised right now. In fact, when our students goes abroad and he opts for any job, he is compared with the student of India and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh.
Yes, exactly.
And he is paid less wages as compared to these countries. There is only one reason. And the reason is that international certification is not supported and provided to our student, and it is a local certification through Punjab Board of Technical Education. Now TEVTA is also working on this international certification program as well, so that our students may be able to get the same wages as the student of those countries, neighboring countries, are getting in abroad. Are most of the students basically harness 90% jobs in the Middle East. So this Middle East jobs are basically associated with the international certification. The Kamal is very important in this regard. We are also going to launch these programs and develop these such a system that our students must also be able to get international certification, and they might be able to get the same wages as compared to India, China, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh.
Zabardast.
So this is the reason, main reason. International certification, we may say that if we are able to equip our student with the international certification in addition to our local certification, so that would be more valuable in the foreign countries, and it would add to more remittances, foreign remittances to Pakistan. For example, if some student is earning 3,000 reals or euros or 3,000 dirhams in any country, he spends 1,000 for his expenses and sends back as remittances 2,000 rupees, reals. But if he is getting only 1,000, he will take 50% with himself and send back 500 only to Pakistan. So if we give them international certification, it would add to the economy of Pakistan and increase the remittances 3 times, as per my very safe estimation. The remittances would be increased 3 times in Pakistan if we are able to give them only international certification.
So there's a really important question which I want to ask. You have seen multiple individuals in that particular field. What is a particular thing or a particular ability which students lack nowadays that they fall short?
Students, basically critical thinking is one of the important factor which our student is missing, and which our faculty is emphasized that they must develop and equip our students with critical thinking. And those students who raise the question, and those students who plunge down themselves into the knowledge that why the W's, why, what, how did this happen. So these are the questions basically which develop the critical thinking among the students. Students must raise the questions and teachers must appreciate the question. This is the only thing that would develop and enhance the critical thinking of the students, which would lead to the innovation. So this is the only way that we can improve the capability and the learning skills and the innovative skills of our students.
Sir Ahmad, thank you so much for your precious time. And TEVTA is not only polishing individuals and students, they're actually portraying a great image of Pakistan in like around the globe as well, in other different countries as well.
But one thing that I would like to add here, that the e-bike which we have launched, electric bike, that must be emphasized in this program, and the youth must be apprised about this program, and that is that this bike is on average date the Pakistan citizen uses 70 kilometer mileage every day.
Nice, it's
And
actually brilliant.
we have, according to our estimation, there are 5.1 million bikes on engine, and we have a capacity of producing 2 million bikes average basis in Pakistan, and which costs almost $3 billion fuel on average price per annum. When we worked on this whole scenario, it came to light that we must save $3 billion expenses of our national economy. For this purpose, we basically developed this electric bike, and this electric bike would be able to, this is the very first project in the public sector. TEVTA has basically taken the lead, and Almighty blessed me to launch this program, to develop a team from Sahiwal. Engineer Usman was the head of this team, and there were 8 officers, engineers who worked on this program. And this bike is very much innovative. We have provided 6 more additions in this program, in this bike, 6 more facilities. The helmet which we have provided would not allow the rider to sleep, because just after 2 seconds it would sound. We have automatic switch low beam light facility which is provided in the Audis and the BMW. We have provided in this bikes. So third one is that when the carrier is not working, stand is not working and it's on, it would give a voice sound So it would warn the rider that you have to place the carrier on your exact position. Then we have a storage in this whole bike, and then we have automatic switching. Just with the key, you have another card. By inserting that card, by putting that card, it would get start. It would not merely on the key that you just insert the key and it would get started. It would have an automatic system as well. It has the facility of automatic charging your mobile within the bike batteries. It's on the gel battery, and it costs almost 1,80,000 at the moment. And just with the 4 hours electric switching, it gets fully charged. There are 5 gel batteries in this bike, and you can take a ride of 80 km with one charging. So normally it's 70 km in the private sector provision bikes, but we have provided 80 km facility in this bike. So this bike is basically a novel idea, and we are going to launch in the public sector as well, through different programs, social media management, and so that the youth of this nation must be able to save the economy, save their own money, because every person who is using on average basis 50 kilometers per day, he is spending 1,20,000 rupees per annum as a fuel charge. So just within 1.5 years, this bike would complete its own price by spending nothing. It has no maintenance charges. It is sound free. It's eco-friendly. The above all, that there will be no hazard for the environmental aspects of Pakistan. Safe and clean and green energy, it would add to it. There were 31 companies in Pakistan who were working on the private sector bikes, electric bikes, but they are just producing 27,000 bikes up till now, since 2021. Government of Pakistan has provided relaxation and a policy for this whole program, 2021 to 2026 policy, but public sector was lacking to launch such a program. So TEVTA has taken the lead. Almighty has blessed me to take this lead and launch this electric bike first of all in Pakistan. This is for Pakistan, this is for the whole world. Our engineers have done a great job, rather a marvelous job. And in addition to this, our engineers have also developed another program, that we have developed our own energy saver. In the market, the energy saver costs 350 rupees, but we have developed our own energy saver at the cost of 160 rupees only. So it's more economical as compared to the market and private sector. So these two programs are the major programs which have been, and we have the videos, we have the all the recordings of this launching of these programs, which can also be shared with you and as well as with the other members of this country. Thank you.